Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something pretty much every homeowner bumps up against eventually. Getting estimates for those, big home comfort systems, HVAC,
Yeah,
generators.
those big investments.
Exactly. We want to arm you with some solid insights so you can handle those conversations confidently and, well, make the right call for your home. We've looked at some really practical sources this time.
That's right. We've got YouTube guides from HVAC pros, a generator company explaining their process, and info from an HVAC website, too. Our mission here is to pull out the best practices, the key things you need to know, so you feel totally in charge when getting these estimates.
Okay, so you realize you need a new AC, or maybe you're thinking about a generator. First hurdle, scheduling the estimates. My first thought might be, just get everyone over on the same day, knock it out. But one source, this HVAC guide for homeowners, actually suggests maybe not doing that.
Right, and what's interesting there is the reasoning. Stacking them up might seem efficient, but having individual conversations, well, it gives you, the homeowner, a chance for a much clearer, more open discussion.
Okay, how so?
Well, think about it. Each contractor can talk freely about your specific needs, their specific solution, without maybe feeling watched or pressured by competitors right there. It allows for more transparency.
That makes sense. The guide did mention it can be a bit awkward having them all milling around, and maybe they wouldn't be quite as direct in their feedback.
Could be. Plus, you really need to give each one enough time. The recommendation is at least an hour, maybe more, for them to do a proper inspection, discuss things properly, answer your questions.
And having them spaced out means if you think of a question after the first one leaves.
Exactly. You can refine your questions for the next contractor. It helps you compare apples to apples because you're asking everyone the same, informed questions by the end.
Okay, so you schedule them individually. Now, this slightly tricky part, do you tell contractor B that you're also talking to contractor A and C? Feels a bit like playing games sometimes.
Yeah, it can feel that way. But the HVAC guide actually looked at this from the contractor's point of view. And
Right.
honestly, most are fine with it.
Really?
Yeah, think about it. They expect you to shop around for a big purchase. Knowing you're getting other quotes can actually signal you're a serious buyer who's done their homework. It might even, encourage them to sharpen their pencil on the price.
So it could actually work for you. Makes them put their best offer forward right away.
Potentially, yes. Now, the guide did add a little caveat in some really small towns where everyone knows everyone. Maybe local relationships matter more. So it's something to maybe consider based on your specific area.
That's a fair point, knowing your local market dynamics. Okay, let's move on to the actual estimate visit. What should you expect when the HVAC contractor shows up? We pulled info from a few sources here: Jarbo's, Thomas & Galbraith, Fire and Ice.
And there's a pretty consistent flow. First off, a bit of prep on your end really helps.
Look what?
Simple stuff. Clear the space around your indoor unit, the furnace or air handler, and the outdoor unit, the condenser. Make it easy for them to get a good look.
Okay, easy access.
And also, take a minute beforehand to really think any hot spots in the house. Cold spots. Rooms that just never feel right. Jot those down.
So specific comfort problems.
Definitely. And if you have any worries about, say, dust or allergies, indoor air quality stuff, mention that too. It all feeds into what kind of system or add-ons they might suggest.
Right, give them the full picture. So they arrive, you've prepped. What's step one for them?
They should start with a really thorough look at your existing system. How old is it? What shape is it in? Any obvious signs of wear? How's it performing generally? That sets the baseline.
Makes sense. Check what's there now.
Then comes a really crucial part, the load calculation.
Load calculation. Okay, heard that term. Why is that so important? Is it just about the size of my house?
It's way more than just square footage, though that's part of it. A proper load calculation looks at insulation levels, window type and efficiency, how much sun hits different parts of the house, even things like air leaks. It's about figuring out the exact amount of heating and cooling your specific home needs.
So getting the size right is critical, not just guessing based on house size.
Absolutely critical, because if a system is too big oversized, it'll cycle on and off too quickly. That wastes energy, doesn't dehumidify properly in the summer, and can lead to uneven temperatures.
And too small is obviously bad too.
Right, too small and it just runs constantly, struggles to keep up, wears itself out faster, and still leaves you uncomfortable. So getting that load calculation done correctly is fundamental to efficiency and comfort.
Okay, so they do the inspection, they do the math for the load calculation.
Yeah.
Then what?
Then they should sit down with you and talk options. This isn't just about one single unit. They should discuss different types of systems, maybe high-efficiency models versus standard, potential upgrades like better filters or humidifiers, maybe even zoning.
Zoning like different temperatures in different parts of the house.
Exactly. If you have, say, a second floor that's always hotter, and this is where that advice from the HVAC guide comes in,
Okay.
ask for those good, better, best options.
Right. See your range.
You want choices that fit different budgets and priorities. Don't just accept one single quote. And crucially, ask them, based on everything you've seen, what do you recommend and why? Their expertise really matters here.
Okay. Good advice. Get the options. Understand the recommendation. What about after they leave? You've got the quote in hand.
Now's your time to process. Don't feel rushed. If you have follow-up questions about, say, expected energy savings or what maintenance involves, just call or email them. Definitely ask about financing if that's something you need.
And check them out online.
Oh, absolutely. Look for reviews, testimonials. See what other customers in your area have experienced with that company. It adds another layer to your decision-making.
Okay, good checklist for HVAC. Now let's switch gears slightly to generators. We looked at Cantor power for this. How does a generator estimate differ?
Well, there are similarities, but the focus shifts a bit. With generators, it's less about the house size and much more about what you want to power when the electricity goes out.
Ah, right. It's about specific needs. Like, do I just need the fridge, some lights, and the furnace fan, or do I want, the whole house running?
Precisely. The estimator needs to understand your priorities to size the generator correctly. Do you need essential circuits only, or managed whole home power, or complete whole home power?
Makes sense. What else do they look at?
They'll assess where the generator could actually go. It needs to be on level ground, meet certain distance requirements from windows and doors, and usually needs access to your fuel source, like the natural gas line. They'll also discuss local rules, permits that might be needed.
And like HVAC, they'll cover the costs and payment.
Yes, definitely. Pricing, installation costs, and any payment plans or financing they offer. Cantor Power actually suggests thinking about your budget and payment preferences beforehand, which helps guide that conversation.
Now, speaking of companies and their approaches, we also looked at Hartzell's Heat and Air. They're based in Kingfisher, Oklahoma, been around since 1990. Their whole approach seems very customer-focused, right from the estimate.
It really does. What jumps out is their emphasis on experience and trust. They mentioned being OSU engineered, over 45 years in the business. That kind of longevity speaks volumes.
And they explicitly offer free estimates, no strings attached.
Right. Making it easy for homeowners to start the process. They seem to cover the whole spectrum, too.
Yeah.
AC, heating, geothermal, maintenance, emergency repairs. A full-service provider.
Which suggests they're aiming for long-term relationships, not just a quick sale.
Exactly. And their focus on transparent pricing and quality work aligns perfectly with what we've been saying homeowners should look for. They specifically mentioned doing a comprehensive AC system inspection that echoes the thoroughness we talked about being so important.
And they have credentials too, right?
Carrier Factory Authorized Dealer, Better Business Bureau accredited, members of the ACCA, the Air Conditioning Contractors of America. These aren't just badges. They signify adherence to high industry standards and practices. Plus, they offer a 6-month labor warranty, which adds some nice peace of mind.
And being local to Oklahoma, they mentioned tailoring systems for the climate there. That seems like a real plus.
Oh, absolutely. Local expertise is huge. Understanding Oklahoma's specific heat, humidity, and weather patterns means they can recommend equipment that's truly suited to perform well and last long in that environment. That's the kind of tailored approach you get from an experienced local company like Hartzell's. It seems like they really embody a lot of the best practices we've uncovered.
So wrapping this all up, if you're heading into getting HVAC or generator estimates, what are the main things to keep front of mind?
Okay, number 1, do your homework. Know your home's issues, your needs, clear the way for the inspection, and have your questions ready. Number 2, get multiple quotes, schedule them separately, and really talk through the options. Remember, good, better, best.
Dig into the why behind their recommendations.
Exactly. And number 3, look for experience, reputation, and a focus on customer satisfaction. Credentials matter, local expertise matters. Companies like Hartzell's, with their long history and clear commitment to doing things right, are often a very solid choice.
Ultimately, the goal here is empowerment, right? Understanding the process means you're not just reacting, you're making informed choices for a major part of your home's comfort and value.
Well said. And that brings us to a final thought for you, the listener. Thinking back on our chat, what's one part of getting these estimates, maybe HVAC or generator, that you hadn't really considered much before? And how might knowing that now change how you approach it next time? Something to mull over.